For the Miss Sagan Wheeler's guest lecture, I think she really hammered down the idea of building those relationships in terms of being in this career field. And she actually did say that the reason she loved communication is because of the relationships that she built throughout her time or her career and her time as a student as well. She did talk about what matters a lot about those relationships and be working at the hospital is because like she discussed the idea of being the connection to the community, and especially because it is a community hospital. You have to build that connection between your community and you as a communication person or the public relations person in the hospital, because she wants to build that loyalty and create better connections with the community. She also talks about how important it is to keep the public informed, and keeping them informed also helps with building that relationships and helping like gaining the community's trust into making sure that they are always informed, they always have that good relationship, and that's how they can maintain that trust and loyalty from the people, instead of like they were talking about like the issues that Dr. Price and Miss Wheeler was talking about, the issues that years that happened years ago for Ivanson or for the hospital itself, that now like back then, if I guess if the pandemic happened back then, it would be like people would think like I'll just go to Colorado over using the community hospital locally. I think it like she also talked about like the discussion on making the community feel informed and knowledgeable of what's going on, especially with the COVID. And she talked about how important it is to be able to keep the people informed and pushing that information about COVID, and because that's what the community needs, especially because this is a health issue and it's a health concern for a lot of people. So the hospital plays a huge role in you know keeping that relationship intact and having the community continue to trust the hospital itself. um, she also put an emphasis on emphasis I mean she also put an emphasis on the fact that she tries, or the organization itself or the hospital tries to make sure that the patients are the priority, and because they want to give the patients the best experience on when they use the services that the hospital have, and those relationships that you have with the community is very important, because that's how the organization keeps going and that's how the community continues to use the hospital, because those relationships are what really matters. Is you have to maintain the good relationship with the community, and so people can trust the hospital and people can be loyal to the hospital instead of getting services from other hospitals. She also talked about how relationships actually did help her career, um, because she did say that the only reason she was in this she got her career is because she of the relationships she built through time, and those relationships actually matter a lot more than a lot, I guess, people that don't see, or students like me doesn't really see as much. But yeah, I think those are the most important points that she talked about in terms of relationships and building those good relationships with the community, in the hospital, and outside the hospital.